Hey, welcome. And finally, we are going to be able to log in users. Hooray. Okay. Now, to do this, we have to head back to the login screen. And the first step is to add validation check to our form. Don't already have that in the auth controller file, but also we want to be able to display that error at the bottom of the test form field line. Okay. And to do this, within the test form field, it has a property known as validator. And within the parentheses, it's going to take in the value of whatsoever the user is going to type in, okay, over here. And now we can have an if statement to check if the value dot is empty. Over here, we need a not check. If it is empty, then we want to return this email email field email field must not be empty. Okay. And else if it is filled in, we want to return null to allow the user to go. Do nothing. Okay. And now we can just do this again for the sake of mastering value. And if value dot is empty, you could also say, okay, it's not empty. You can just go with the other wise and return is password must not must not be empty. Okay. Else we want to allow the user to go. Great. Seems good. And over here, sorry, before then, in order for this function to work, we have to wrap our column with a form widget. So what we have to do, first of all, is to create a final, and it's going to be a type of global key because we want to create a variable, and also it's going to be a type of form state, and we can call this underscore form key, and it's going to be equal to this variable over here, and we want to call it. Seems good. And within the column, we can then wrap it with the widget and form, and within the form, it has a property known as key, and we can then bind the form key to the form. And over here, we can then create a function again to make this cleaner, and we can call this function login users, or we can just say underscore login users. And first of all, we can add a check. You can see we have a lot of check in order to make it more secured. And underscore form key dot current state dot validate. If it's validate, then only we should be able to call that function. And now we're going to be having access to the login users, and in order to do so, we first need to have access to this auth controller class, right? So what we can do is we can create a variable to store that auth controller class. Over here, we can create a final, and we can just go ahead and specify it's going to be a type of auth controller, and we can call this underscore auth controller, and it's going to be equal to auth controller. Seems good. And also, we're going to be using the await, and in order to use the await, we have to use the async over here. Now we can then say await, then underscore. I think we can just call this underscore auth controller. underscore auth controller, and we can then have access to the login users and also the sign up users and the login users. And you can see it's asking for the value to that variable we have over there. And the value is going to be whatsoever the user is going to add as their email address and also the password. Great. And else we want to return a snack bar. I think we call this snack bar. What did we call this function? Okay, I think show snack. Okay, not show search, but show snack. Just gonna undo this. Or for now, we can just say print, or we can just do that. Return show snack. Okay, this is the way. And for the title, for now, this is gonna say please. In the future, we should be able to return that res we have within the hot controller. But for now, we can say please fields must not be empty. Okay, now we can call the function. Okay, and we have to wrap this with a button, a light, and we can wrap this with an inkwell, which is also a type of button. And within the inkwell, it has a property known as ontap. Ontap, we want to call this login users. Okay, great. And it's gonna make sure the files are saved. Okay, and let's try this out. Within our, we have this mac@gmail.com, and also what we can do to know if we are logged in or not, we want to return a show snack. For now, show snack, and this is gonna say you are now logged in. Okay, and let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, first off, I'm gonna click on login. Okay, you can see seems good. And now Mac at gmail.com, EEEJAYMAC, login. Okay, you are now logged in, working as expected. So we are currently logged in. Gonna do this one more time. Okay, you are now logged in. You can see, seems good, right? And hopefully you understand all this, but if you don't, please always do well to let me know. And I'm always available to answer your questions. And you can see the UID of the user. Take close to this, and you're gonna see we have it over here. You can see this user is currently logged in. You can see ROI, and you can also see ROI over there. And we have successfully created the functionality to log in users. And currently, this user is logged in.